Hi, I'm Wendy Schuchart, editor-in-chief of ITProToday.com and DataCenterKnowledge.com. I am here live at Data Center World 2024 in Washington, D.C., and I'm excited to sit at the DCK News Desk today with Dr. Luca Amalfi. He is the CEO, co-founder, and chairman of Seguente, Inc. He's driving the company's strategic business, technology, and product roadmap, capital objectives, and financial growth goals. Prior to founding Seguente, he had strategic roles in large corporate companies, leading R&D, commercialization activities in the field of thermal management, and advanced liquid cooling technologies of high-performance communications and computing systems. He has authored over 60 scientific publications in leading journals, conference proceedings, and handbooks, and over 20 patents. Dr. Amalfi, thank you for taking taking time out of your very busy agenda today to talk to us here at Data Center World.
Thank you very much, Wendy.
It's great to have you here. And so tell us a little bit about Seguente, your vision, and the journey over the last 2 years.
Sounds good. Seguente is really coming to the market with one main mission, is really to bring artificial intelligence and high-performance compute to the mainstream. And the way we do is really to bundle the entire solution, which means IT hardware, which is a liquid cooled by our unique solution. We also have a software management systems and also heat rejection option. The main product that actually we provide to our customers are liquid cooled servers and racks, which are fully enclosed and integrated, which means IT equipment, power, and cooling ready to be deployed. And then also we are the first company that actually has launched to this market a pumpless liquid cooling distribution unit, which means no water, no pump, and is a full dielectric eco-friendly implementation. A little bit on the journey of the company, because I think it's important. The company is 2 years old, as you actually mentioned, so very, very, very proud that we are scaling fast, right? But we really start with an initial goal, which was let's build the first proof concept, right? We wanted to make sure that we can cool high-dense servers with our passive cooling systems. After we proved that, we basically spent a good full years to optimize for design and for manufacturing to make sure that we can scale with our partners. So we went through certification, validation, and now actually we are in full rolling out of the units.
Amazing. Can you talk a little bit about the market? So this is, the scale up is very fast. Can you talk a little bit about the market trends and the drivers that are shaping the transition from existing to next generation data centers that we're going to be seeing? Well, we're seeing now, but in the next years.
Yes. So I think this is a multidimensional problem, as I say. We always, or at least myself, I try to have basically the performance at the top and let's say financial and sustainability at the bottom. And the main drivers on the performance side is really the power of those chips. Let's say CPUs and GPUs is scaling a lot, right? Mm-hmm. So we went from CPUs 280 watts all the way to 500 watts. The latest NVIDIA GPUs is 1,000 watts. So really the power is going up. So we require new and novel cooling solution to be able to accommodate these heat loads. This is one single problem, let's say power going up, but then also we have the densification of compute. Now there is this trend that thermal scientists and engineering, they like to basically pack more functionality into the smaller boxes. Mm-hmm. So you have these single boards full of CPUs and GPUs because you want to optimize the communication, you want to optimize the compute, and then of course you have a high volumetric density, which means calls for a high performance liquid cooling systems. So these are the main drivers from performance side, okay? Then if we look at the financial side, what I still believe and strongly believe that if you have a liquid cooling systems, you can optimize your total cost of ownership because you will be able to cut the OPEX from the energy savings as well as also on the serviceability side, right? Because if you have the right solution, you don't need to service so often in the data centers. And then on the CapEx side, you will have the possibility to reduce both the IT capital cost as well as also the site infrastructural cost. So it's a big deal when you basically go from an air-cooled data centers to a liquid cooling data centers. And then the last piece, and I think is also very important, especially where we are, is we have to be a little bit more careful in the way we use energy and we use water, right?
Right.
And I believe the two main drivers for sustainable data centers is really making sure that we can deploy those racks and that we can basically capture as much as possible the heat from those racks and reuse it from waste heat reuse application. So really capture the heat as well as also drive waste heat reuse application. If we can get all these four done, we will be able to shift very well from an air cooling configuration to a liquid cooling configuration.
That's fascinating, especially the reusing of the heat, the waste heat. Um, Back in a former life when I was in IT, we had an on-prem data center, and we piped all of the heat from the data center into the office because we always had people who were cold, and I'm in Wisconsin, which is very cold. So the opportunity there is, as data center scale, there's not usually a nice office to be able to heat, with a tiny data center. So it's just going to become exponentially more important for companies to figure out a way to manage that heat.
Indeed.
Can you talk a little bit about how Seguente provides values to its customers, partners, and suppliers, other than just the capex and the?
Yes. Yeah. So this is a great question, and basically we realized that Seguente business model is really to provide servers and racks, and basically giving our customers the best workloads for their application, right? And the way we want to do it is all based on our technology innovation. One of the key technology innovation is our passive direct-to-chip two-phase cooling technology. What this technology is basically a passive systems that is leveraging the heat from the chip itself to basically self-drive the coolant into the cooling systems. So we replace water with a dielectric fluid, and we get rid of the pumps. So we can basically maximize the performance, reduce the form factor, and basically optimize the amount of compute that we can stack per racks. The other key features of our servers and rack system is really the scalability piece, which means we can exceed easily 100 kilowatts per racks.
Nice.
And again, without any moving parts, it's fully passive. We minimize the serviceability because the system is fully passive. We use low global warming potential fluids, which are also eco-friendly, and also high level of reliability, right? Because the system has almost 0 point of failure. Another important characteristics here, and this is basically based on my experience here, we are talking about the transition from air cooling to liquid cooling, but this may take some time, right?
Sure.
Company, they still talk about, 100 kilowatts per rack, but the average is around 20 to 40 kilowatts. Most of the infrastructure are not ready to host the liquid cooling, so there is a transition time. Seguente also can get basically that transition resolved in a way that is really unique, because our racks can be basically clustered together with the heat rejection option, and that heat rejection can be liquid to liquid or liquid to air, so that we can also deploy AI and HPC in facility which are not ready to host the liquid cooling.
And I think you've said the magic words. Everybody's thinking about HPC and AI workloads, because it's not, I think we talked about it during the keynote, it's not a question of if it's happening, it's going to be when it's happening.
Yes.
So that scalability and blending with the ability to, accommodate those kind of higher density workloads is crucial.
It's very crucial, and also what I believe, Wendy, here is really the way we manage the ecosystem, right? So Seguente believes that the partnership is a foundation for us. So we work very close with our partners, suppliers, and basically the value that we add to them is basically they can expand their business because they can resell through us.
Sure.
So it's has been a great journey so far.
So we're almost out of time, but very quickly, what's next on the horizon for Seguente?
So the most important thing we believe is in innovation, and I always say that we use science to create new products, and we are very strong on the high quality products Now the next step is basically to diversify the product offering. So far we have CDUs and full integrated racks. The next step is to bring these to cluster level, which means multiple racks, which they can be orchestrated together with our software, plus also the heat rejection option. So our customers, they can basically they can buy those clusters and they can basically have a plug and play compute to be able to be used for AI and HPC application.
Amazing. Dr. Amalfi, thank you so much for joining me
I
here at
really
the
appreciate it.
News Desk. And thank you, viewers, for joining us today. Live from Data Center World, I'm Wendy Schuchart here with Dr. Luca Amalfi, CEO and Chairman of Seguente. Thank you for watching.